I'm going to try to make this short and get this video out as quick as I can because it's kind of urgent right now. So Forsaken, alongside the Friday the 13th event, released a balance patch. Parts of this balance patch really suck, and I'm going to tell you why. The first patch I dislike is with 2-time, but it's only one of the changes. It's basically where crouch stab gives you more end lag now. So basically, I'm going to be spamming my shift key during this after the crouch stab, and I'll just let you see for yourself. As you can see, there was like a delay in time before I could start sprinting again. That is basically the change. Why is this change bad? Well, it comes down to how 2-time helps their teammates. Like, let's say through this door there is a killer who either is using an ability that has some sort of wind up or end lag, or they are just walking and not using their sprint. 9 times out of 10 against good killers, if you aren't using walls and you just try to run up at them and raw dagger, they are going to notice you and you will most likely not get the backstab off. That is where crouch stab comes in, because crouch stab essentially gives you a way to reach them easier and without being detected, as it can go from a farther length. Not only does this change slightly mess up the amount of distance you can get after landing a stun, but if the killer already knows you're there and turns around once you do the crouch stab and you get the front stab off instead, you get severely punished for it because of the end lag. Oh, don't get me wrong, 2-time in current patch now is still like a middle A tier, I would say, but he's middle A tier because of the other changes to the character. The crouch stab end lag change is unnecessary, and it is a complete nothing burger that just needs to be murdered. The next part of the patch I dislike is with Elliot, and it is only specifically the rush hour move. When you use rush hour, the move happens like normal. However, after speed 3, you now get slowness 1 for 2 seconds. So why is this bad? Well, there's 2 reasons. The whole point of rush hour is that Elliot would get gradual distance from the killer. If you and the killer were both running at the same time whilst you were using rush hour, you would slowly get farther and farther until you would get a decent amount of distance. Now, if that same scenario happens, you actually won't get any distance. They'll be able to get right back into M1 range with you, and you die anyway. So now you have to use rush hour situationally. The way to use rush hour is when you know a killer has lower stamina, because what's going to end up happening is they don't have the resources necessary to continue catching up to you and punish you after the slowness. Rush hour shouldn't have been nerfed anyway when it's a one-time use and chase, but if you are gonna nerf it, don't nerf it like this, especially when this is a starter character designed for new players. Because how is a new player going to feel when they use this move to try and run away, only for them to get no distance off of it and die anyway? You can test this out for yourself, by the way. I've tested this multiple times with multiple different people. It very much works. So yeah, I would definitely revert this change in some sort of way. It is just icky to use now and unnecessary, to be frank. Doing all this for a one-time use in chase is absolutely abominable. And finally, the most egregious patch of all is with John Doe. Unstoppable has basically been removed now. You get the exact stun duration of the specific stun that it is, and you don't get the speed boost after, unless you are during the windup of corrupt energy or 404 error, which basically doesn't matter. Now, this removal is not inherently bad. What makes it bad is John Doe's general, mediocre balance compared to the rest of the killers. Now, a strong John Doe main thrives on trying to use corrupt energy to either trap or hit you the moment you even think about going to a spot that could potentially be trapped. There's two ways to make sure this doesn't happen. Either one, you find a looping spot that John Doe cannot possibly trap you in because of the multiple pathways like here and here and here and stuff. Or if you do ever find yourself in one of these trap scenarios and the John Doe immediately uses corrupt energy, try to get out of the spot that could potentially be cornered and then juke it. Like for example, if I go into this room now and Jago's following behind, he's immediately gonna want to corrupt energy, right? Now let's say I'm going to this pathway. I'm gonna see his corrupt energy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run back and force him to try and hit me with it instead. I'm gonna juke it, and then I'm either going to go back to the pathway I was going or to the other pathway. If you can do one of these things, John Doe has nothing else to do. This effectively turns him into an M1 merchant. He isn't worried about using any other of his abilities in chase except corrupt energy occasionally, so he's mostly worried about swinging at you. Plus, he's slow. Now imagine trying to chase somebody and being unable to get them for a long time, either by the fact you're slow or by the fact you miserably fail to trap them each time you attempt it. And then when you do, you now have to worry about stuns because you still get the full stun duration. And if you do get stunned now, you have to repeat the entire loop over again. Now, does this mean that Unstoppable shouldn't have gotten nerfed in the first place? No, what I would do to nerf Unstoppable is keep the reduced stun duration, but remove the speed that comes after. It wasn't really a problem for me, but I think I could probably speak for other Forsaken players that it is a little infuriating trying to get a stun just for John Doe to be able to go back into the M1 range with you because of his speed 1. The worst part about these changes is that if you look on the polls channel in their Discord, these people agree with these changes. This is really bad because this could leave taints on Elliot and John Doe forever, presumably forever, because the devs see that people are agreeing with it, so it's not like they're gonna change it anytime soon. So look, if you think the current balance changes of today are fine, I want you to just reconsider and think about the points I made in this video. If you don't agree, leave a comment down below. I would be happy to debate with you and talk about it. If you do agree, then spread the word, because these 3 patches absolutely suck. Anyways, that's about all for this video. Make sure to like, make sure to subscribe. Again, if you disagree about anything said in this video, please leave a comment down below. I would love to debate with you about it, and spread the word because this patch sucks. Thank you.